Hello guys, welcome back to my training. So in today's class, we're going to be looking at how we can buy a domain name from one hosting company and an hosting account from a different company, and then how we can connect both of this together to make it work. Okay, so in the previous video I showed you how you can buy a domain and hosting from the same company, right? So in this video we're going to be doing it from two different companies and how you can connect it so it works, right? So I'm going to be using Namesilo for my domain name. Okay, so I'm going to be getting a domain name from Namesilo. Then I'm going to be getting the hosting from Beesengine. Okay, so we're going to go to the Namesilo website. So you see, this is the Namesilo website right here. Okay, so I'm logged in already. So you will come in here and you just need to register. But I'm logged in already into my account, so we're just going to go straight into the tax of the day. Okay, so all I have to do is come to my account and I will see like a summary and overview of everything that is going on my account. Okay, so you can see my account funds and all that. Now, like I told you before, buying of domain name, buying of hosting, it is the same across all platforms. Okay, you go in there, you search for your domain name, you buy your domain name, and you connect it to your hosting. Or if you're not connecting with hosting, you do not select connect with hosting. Okay, so I'm going to go through the process again for the sake of this video. You're going to see all I have to do is come here and search for my domain name. So this is the domain name I want to buy. I'm going to search. You can see, okay, so you see this is .com is $13.95. .top is just $1.88. You can see the different extensions that we have right here, and there are so many more extensions that you can actually select from. Okay, so all I have to do is put this in cart and click on checkout. Now, there are two ways that I can actually do this connection of the domain name to the hosting. Okay, now remember, I've not actually gotten my hosting account yet. I'm just trying to show you how you can get your domain name, right? So I can either decide, if I already know the name server. Now there's something called name server. Name server is what connects your domain name to your hosting. Okay, so if I buy my domain name from Namesilo and I buy my hosting from Beesengine, I need to use the name server of Beesengine in the domain registrar, so that domain name that I got will be connected to the hosting that is in a different company. Okay, so that is the purpose of name servers. Okay, so that is the purpose of name server. So the name server is what you use to connect your domain name to your hosting, right? So now I can either decide to put in my name server right at the time I'm making my purchase of the domain name, if I already know the name server of my hosting company. Okay, so most hosting companies have one particular set of name servers that they use. So if it's something you have bought over and over again, you already know the name server that you are going to use, right? So all you have to do is just put in the name server as you are purchasing the domain name. But if you do not know the name server, ignore this part and just go straight up to checkout and check out your and pay for your domain name. Okay, so you see there are different options to actually pay for this domain name, right? There are different options to actually pay for that domain name. Now you can also come, I'm going to go to beesengine.com. I'm going to try to purchase my hosting account. Okay, so I'm going to try to, let me log in. Perfect. Now this is my hosting account. This is my Beesengine account, right? So now I want to purchase a hosting plan. Now remember I told you every hosting needs to have a domain name attached to it, right? Every hosting needs to have a domain name attached to it. Okay, that domain name attached to it is called the primary domain name of the hosting account, right? Now remember in my previous video, I showed you 4 options right here, okay? There was one for use the domain name in my shopping cart. There was register a new domain name. That's what registering a new domain name afresh. Then transfer your domain name from another registrar or use your existing domain and update my name server. Now, this is if I have already gotten my domain name from a different registrar, right? I've gotten my domain name from a different company, but I want to get my hosting from Beesengine. So all I have to do is come here and click on this last option saying I will use my existing domain name and update my name server, right? So in other words, what I'm trying to say is I've already gotten a domain name elsewhere. So you give me your name server so I can update it in where I got my domain name so it can be connected, right? So all I have to do is come here, put in my domain name that I've already gotten, put in the extension right here and click on use, and then I go through with the process of buying my hosting. There is no difference. The only difference between buying your domain name and hosting from two different companies or buying from the same company is the fact that you have to connect your name server. Okay, so now I'm going to show you where you actually get to connect your name server. Like I said earlier, it's usually the same process across all platforms. Okay, so whether you're using Namecheap, you're using Namesilo, you're using Bluehost, you're using Zillion King, you're using Extras, whatever hosting company or domain name registrar you're using, it's the same process across all platforms. Okay, so once I've gotten my domain name, I've paid for my domain name, right? I've gotten my domain name, it has been added to my dashboard. All I have to do is come to manage. Now in every name, in every company that you're getting your domain name from, next to your domain name there's always a place where you will see manage. So it's either you see manage or you just see plain change name server or change DNS. Okay, so I'm just going to come right here and okay, let's use this as an example. So you see I click on the domain name and it brings me down here. You can see my name server. So I can choose to edit my name server right here. Okay, so now this domain name, I bought the domain name with Namesilo, but I'm hosting it in Extrahostpro. Okay, and this is the name server of Extrahostpro. Okay, so now let me go to Q server. Let me show you how you can also change your name server in Q server. Okay, so I'm just going to log into my account right here. Okay, you can see I have 17 domain names that I've gotten here. So we're just going to use any one. Okay, all these are expired. Let me look for an active one that we can use. Okay. Okay, this is an active one that we can use. So you can see this domain name right here. You can see active. You can see this little symbol here that looks like a setting symbol, right? So all you have to do is come here and click on this. You're going to see manage name server, right? So if I go to Hostinger, I go to the domain name that I want to change the name server of. By the side, I'm going to see either manage name server, change DNS, or something related to, but you must see that option for you to update your name server. Now all I have to do is come here and put in the name server that I want to put. Now you see this domain name, I bought this domain name with Q server, but I'm hosting it in anitahost.com, and this is the name server of anitahost.com. Like I said, it's the same process across all platforms. Okay, you get your domain name, you get your hosting. Now how do you get your name server? You get your name servers in your email. Okay, so remember I told you that you're going to get an email notification giving you access to your cPanel, your username, and your password. Now in that same email, in that same message, you're also going to see name servers written underneath it. Okay, so you're going to see name servers written underneath it. You're going to see your domain name, your cPanel URL, your username, your password, and then your name server. So all you have to do is copy the name servers 1 and 2. Usually most companies have just 2 name servers, so you put in 1 and 2, but very few ones have 3. So if there are 3, you copy the 3 from the NS or DNS parts down to the .com part, and you are good to go. Okay, so basically that is how you connect your names, your domain name, and your hosting when you purchase it from 2 different companies. You simply go to update your name servers. Okay, so thank you so much for watching today, guys. I hope you have learned something. See you in my next video.